Now, let's go to Froggy. Since you are
Giga
in
frog.
yes, you are in you are in one of the churches. You are a church
Yes,
to
to
Tornvale.
yes, nature god, which is actually Mother Tooth, because they keep calling her the wrong thing. Jeez.
So you were in the church and you had just gone big, and sort of the high priest comes
to prove
out.
that I was actually blessed.
Yeah, and the high priest comes out because you were just speaking to one of the acolytes. The high priest comes out
Yes.
and he's like, "Oh no, 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 no! Stop,
Do you
stop,
see
stop,
what
stop,
I
stop,
mean?
stop. Please, small frog, small frog."
Do a clap. Go back to small. You see? I know what I'm on about.
What was that?
Oh, I channeled naturey magics from Mother Toad, and so I can go Big Toad. Well, frog.
The mother toad.
Mm-hmm. But
I...
you guys keep calling her this other thing, and I'm here to say like, hey, no, do these things as well.
We call her... Are you speaking of Torrenvale?
Yeah.
Well, that is what the church is dedicated to.
Then yeah, toenail.
Hello?
Tawny.
Toenail.
Torrenvale. What...
Be right back, guys.
What is your... What are you? First things first, what are you?
I am I'm Froggy, and I'm I think you guys have mentioned frog folk before. Yeah. I drifted over on a boat, and I've been around with some other folks.
Okay, so you're...
And then I've been speaking with the nice lady who sits in the throne room and stuff, and she's taught me how to do things as well.
He looks at you very incredulously, very... You've been sitting with Rishana?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, child. I just don't believe you.
I'm not a child.
Well, you are in the eyes of an old man.
Okay.
Oh, child.
What can I do for you? And he sort of feels a little bit, you see him, he doesn't quite know how to approach this. He seems very,
Oh, no. I'm not saying you guys could do things for me. I'm here to show you things.
Oh, you're, us? Well, we are, obviously, we're already blessed with the divine light of Torrenvale, as you can see, and he points around to the white.
Oh, Mother Toad. There's other ways of doing things where you might realize things about Dornail, about how you do things.
Okay, humor me. What things?
Rain rituals, other practices, learning about what the Mother Toad is, and other than calling her Dornail, reimaginings. You could be more blessed because you're doing the right thing, but then she's like, oh no, you're almost there, so you get some things.
He seems very, very shifty. He seems very uncomfortable that you're speaking so openly and familiarly with the divine magic. I'm sure that you and your people do things in certain ways, but we.
Oh yeah, I'm the one who found the temple. Originally we did things, and then we went, oh no, and then we did the things for the frog because we realized that's the thing we were doing the things for before. And now, hey, look, I can then go. I clap again, become Big Frog. Big Frog.
No, not like that, please.
Clap, small again.
Oh, you just see, you kind of, you have left sort of hair, sort of fractures in the stone a little bit.
Oh, no. No,
where
I can
you've
fix that.
and he goes, oh, and you say that this is divine magics that you are using
Yeah.
from the Mother Toad.
Mm-hmm. And then I sat with Throne Lady, and then she also taught me another thing. She was telling me about Tornail, and taught me how to do another thing as well.
I'll activate inflict wounds, but I won't use it on anyone. So my hand goes all like thorny and shadowy.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's lovely. Well, over here, it's kind of, a little bit more, on the down low, how we express our divine nature,
Why? Isn't everybody here like holy?
Oh, of course. We're holy, of course. That no one doubts that. We're very holy, but we don't like to flash it about and be.
I'm not flashing it about. I was proving my point. You didn't believe me. Well, I think you believe me. I don't know now at this point, but big statement.
I don't know what to say. Roll an insight check.
Exactly. My insight's very high. Oh, it actually is. Okay, it's a wisdom skill. For some reason, I thought I always get insight and investigation well.
Just remember to put it
Dice
in the
rolls.
right. Yeah. 13. Yeah, you just kind of think that these guys are acting strange, but you can't quite put your finger on it. It could just be that they're humans, and you don't really understand humans.
Yeah, I was gonna say humans in general confuse me.
Well, it seems that you are indeed a powerful magic user of some kind, and I would certainly welcome you to the library, but I think that's all I can do.
Yeah, I'll have a look at the books. I'm not the best reader, but I'm okay.
You can read.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can also speak multiple languages.
I'll say high in Draconic
Oh,
and Orcish
Jesus.
and Goblin.
Not that one. Oh.
What?
Oh, the war! The war!
What? Oh.
Oh. No. Just Carbon is fine. Carbon is fine.
Okay.
All right. He sort of beckons you over and he takes you into another room with the library and he says, please, help yourself. Don't leave with any books.
Oh, no, I won't.
But to help yourself to reading and any of the refreshment that's on, and there's some wine and fruit in a bowl and a jug.
I'll just sort of, from where I'm standing, sort of just tong a piece of fruit into my mouth.
Okay, one sec.
Oh no. What do I do now?
Yeah, you get it. He sort of kind of his arm comes up as if to sort of catch the tongue. It's sort of Qui-Gon Jinn style from episode 1.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't. He can't get it up in time, and he sort of makes the motion as if he's sort of going to scratch his beard.
Okay.
Yes. Perhaps don't do that for our other patrons. They might be a bit.
Oh, okay. No.
I'll go up to the fruit and cast thaumaturgy to clean the other fruit that might have got some like saliva on it.
Some saliva. Okay, yeah. So basically, he's gonna leave, and he's gonna leave you to the library, and you can find out anything you wish.
Is there anybody else in the library?
Yeah, there's a few acolytes in the library.
Okay. I think Frog would start reading and probably get bored. And then we'll start pestering other acolytes and be like, hey, do you know how to do rain dances?
Roll a persuasion check to see if you can get any of them to interact with you, because you are a weird creature to them.
Yeah, but I'm froggy. My persuasion is not very high. Yeah.
6. You just can't. They're just almost scared of you after what has happened, and they're just really, every time you come up to them, you kind of like tug their robe, and you go, "Hi," and they're just kind of, no, I've got something over this way.
Oh, okay.
So you can't really get anyone's attention at the moment.
That's fair. Froggy's gonna try and read.
Okay. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
No, what? Froggy wouldn't have any idea what he's looking at other than he'd just stop. He'd pick up a random book off a shelf and be like, "Huh," and start reading it just to see what it's about.
Okay. Well, most of these books are to do with the kind of sort of Abernathyized, westernized view of religion, and talks about sort of all these like stories of rebirth and Tornavel sort of bringing the weather for crops in hard times and saving whole villages from blight and disease and etc., that kind of thing. But there isn't actually any mention in any of these books. Actually, just roll an investigation check for me.
Okay. I think that's... Oh, yes, plus nothing. Yes.
3. Okay, so that's all you know. That's all you read.
Bad
Cool.
roll, man.
I'm guessing I see nothing. I'm guessing I see nothing mentioning Mother Toad.
No, you do not.
I mean, not to my surprise.
But
Froggy's surprise, definitely.
You get to a point where you're reading it, it's just the same stories repeated in a slightly different way, or it's like basically the same story but with different characters and a different location, and you're just like, I'm so bored. You'd never get deep into the library where you'd find something like that.
Yeah, and I can imagine Froggy's just shunting. It's like, why isn't there any stories about the giant crocodile? The crocodile's the best bit.
There's no crocodiles.
Flustered Froggy will return to the High Cleric.
All right. So we'll get to that in a moment.
Okay.
Beaky, anything you wanted to do while you were around? You've got a gun that speaks to you.
I'd found a new blacksmith friend, hadn't I?
Oh, you did, and I don't remember what he sounds like.
Oh, well, I've been working on my guns.
At the gym?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yes, of course. You
rip.
set up a table. Sort of. Of course, I remember.
Oh.
All right. So. Was he a dwarf? I can't remember. He was a dwarf, wasn't he?
Yeah. Either way, we got on well.
Yep.
Not shot him yet.
No, not sure him yet.
Can
And
I
I
have a recap? Really, really sorry to interrupt this
Yeah.
cool role play, but it's just something that I can't remember from last time. Because I think, obviously, Tyr had to kind of cover for Beaky a little bit with the lady. She was kind of suspicious of Beaky, thinking maybe he killed that guy. Did he end up? He didn't end up admitting it to her, right?
No, she found out. She basically Beaky rolled really good and then really terribly.
So she found out, and then he kind of pleaded self-defense.
His sword, yeah.
Yeah,
Basic-
explained that I freaked out and panicked.
Yeah. The kind of end result of that was Rashana said, I kind of see that you're not a terrible person based on what you've done in the past.
Yeah.
But you know, you could be called on to pay this debt to the city, because this guy, the guy he killed, if you remember, I rolled on the table of the significance, and he ran
Helps
it
the
like
orphans.
literally. He, according to this, he was very significant to a specific area of the city, and I just made it up to make Ben feel super bad that he helped orphans, and he was an orphan himself.
Yeah. Okay.
What
So,
an
yeah,
asshole.
I just remembering. Yeah, just remembering what had happened with that, because I kind of remember like Tyr possibly being suspicious anyway, but I hadn't really spoke to him about it yet. I think.
Yeah.
But,
So
but he knows now, so it doesn't matter. My
yes,
question is.
yeah. He, Rashana knows, and you guys sort of knew. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Carry on.
All right, yeah. So we'll say, for the sake of continuity, that the guy you have met is called Naldeth. Naldeth. We'll just call him Naldeth because that's a weird last name that it's generated.
Now deaf Wang smuggler.
I like it.
So yeah, I've spent the week. I finished off the Dragonstone pistol upgrades.
Mm-hmm. Which ones were those again?
So it's the stock and the extended barrel,
Okay.
and then so that's what we knew we were going to do anyway. Because I only needed one more tinker thing to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
But then, can I spend the rest of the week working on the quickfire system? Beaky's invention. Obviously not like completing it, but like
Yeah,
spending a
of
week
course. So
working on the design.
roll roll two tinkering checks with this dexterity plus proficiency plus
Fucking go.
something, I'm sure.
High roll, high roll.
Which
You've
one?
been chatting a lot of shit about the dice roller while you've not been playing.
I know. I need to find which one my tinkering. Game proficiency with tinker tools. Why?
So it's
I
just
can't
your
see.
it's 1d20 plus dex plus proficiency.
Dex plus proficiency. Got it.
If it's something like a blacksmith tools or something, it'd be like strength plus proficiency. Okay, so that's number
Let's see
one.
everything.
That's an average roll. That's not good, not bad.
Yeah, no, but look at what the original dice roll was.
It feels bad, but you know, it happens.
3.
You've got a couple crits in the last few fights, I remember. Oh.
No.
It's definitely remembered you.
So over the week, you're kind of mentally fatigued from repairing this gun and working with sort of the stone socket, and it seems to be it gave you a little bit of trouble. You know, the magic in it, you don't really understand it, and you had to work around that a little bit without it blowing up in your face. And when you come around to actually creating your some sort of prototypes or just like little bits that would go on your quickfire add-on, you're not quite there. You're writing it down, and there are some good ideas, but it's just not coming together right now.
Goddamn.
Is there anything else you would like at the blacksmith or
Sound you could roll there.
Is my so have I managed to complete the upgrades for the Dragonstone?
you repaired it, and you've got the
So I was putting the barrel and the armrest on.
Yeah. So I'd say I can't remember what you did last time, so because I'll say you get the barrel done.
Okay. I was halfway through the stock last time.
Okay, the stock. So you get the stock done.
Okay.
And the barrel's almost done.
Right. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Cool. Do I get any bonuses then? for the
Yes.
stock?
I wrote these down somewhere. Beaky, 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 beaky. Scroll, scroll, scroll.
Skip, skip, skip.
Gun upgrades. Here we are. Okay, so once per short rest, you can choose to get advantage on an attack
Okay.
with a stock. With that weapon.
Cool. Thank you very much.
And put that also while I'm here, because it's here, so you don't have to ask me. The barrel will double the range.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And that's me.
No problem. All right. Anybody else got some stuff to do, some things to say, some people to romance?
I return from my nature walk.
I'm gonna read over the scribbled notes that I have from my past and see if I glean anything from them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Roll an intelligence check.
Okay, so that is, am I in dice rolls? I am. Plus intelligence. Where are you? I'm lurking. Oh wait, yeah, it's just a straight thing, isn't it? It's not a skill. 14.
14. And these are notes of your past. You know, you've got the orb and various books.
I had like a few scrolls with me.
Those scrolls kind of start making more sense than they ever had, and you as you're reading them, you're understanding that most of these are notes for academic purposes, notes that you've shared with another wizard that isn't named. You don't name him in your notes. Another source. No, he is a wizard. You don't name him in your notes, but you worked closely with him, and there are some sort of spells that you are you can't read properly yet, but they're there.
Cool. Very interesting. Yes.
Before I decide, I think there is something I'd like to do. I just want to recap something first.
Mm-hmm.
So, this mission that Beaky was given.
Yep.
Is that what we're doing next, everybody?
Yes.
Had we decided what we were doing next yet? Because there was kind of two options, wasn't there? There was go after Onkus or fuck it off and go and do this thing.
I think what I would be doing would be basically decided on if we had that conversation yet, but if we've not had that conversation
I don't think we've talked about it yet.
Okay. Cool. Then not a lot of anything, DM.
Okay.
Other than trying not to just being discreet, you know?
All right. That is Froggy, Beaky, Grugrout. Muscle, did you want to do anything other than come back from your walk and rejoin the group? Is there anything that you wanted to talk to them about or go get from a shop or
No.
Okay.
I'm a simple half man, half orc.
Okay, so we so after a week of various downtime activities, you guys leave with or you guys meet back up one night out of the week, Friday night, Saturday night, and you find yourself all back in the dive bar, the King and Cask. Just sort of talking about what you've been up to, because you've all been doing your own thing. Yeah, you are discussing perhaps what lies in the very near future. Do you go after Onkus, who enslaved somebody that you quite liked, Veclani, and Muscle, you know, accidentally did a kill, did a dead.
Absolute accident.
Do you take up Don Celery on his offer to go down to the border of Nurengard and Farmer and investigate this heist, which there is a time scale on? I think it was 6 months. It has to be done within then, otherwise something big's happening, but he didn't know and you guys don't know. Or, you know, there are always missions to do and things that people need clearing up in a big town. You know, if you needed some loot or some more unfocused adventure to just get out all that rage so you don't take it out on the next Vexlani, you know.
Oh God.
So leave it up to the group to discuss. What do you guys want to do?
So, friends, I know we've just met, but I do have an idea.
Oh, can I
would like to
can
share
I
with you.
butt it just really quickly? You Muscle, you
No,
will.
no.
Okay.
Very capable of ideas.
You will be anxious to find Ankus because although you have your vial of blood that you got from him, you don't know if like breaking it or emptying it would kill you or anything. You might potentially have a vested interest to find out what the fuck is up with this blood pact that you were forced into. Now continue.
Yeah, I don't think that's something that can be ignored.
I know that finding Ankus is very important, and I do want to do that. But I'm also very worried, taking a look around nature, at how many trees are being chopped down around here. So
I'd like to talk about the milk in the fridge.
I think it would be good if we maybe
deep cut.
spread the word around and maybe had some sort of protest to save the forest around here. I was thinking of getting some flyers made, but they need to chop down the trees to make them. So let's just think about that and how we might save the forests. Thank you for your time.
Why don't we plant more trees?
That is an excellent idea. I think I will plant trees wherever I go.
Why don't you just buy some seeds and then walk around
Take cutting.
letting them like just basically dropping them on the ground while you're carving people's heads off.
Can we do both of these things?
Oh my days. Muscle, what if every time you chop someone's head off, you put a seed inside it and put it in the floor?
Is that how it works? I that doesn't sound like how it works.
That is exactly how it works. Tell him, Froggy.
That's
I
not-
will I will attempt this.
I'm pretty sure rotting meat doesn't do very well for grass and stuff.
I will
Trees
try.
only grow if
Wise
murder's
frog.
happening.
Anyway, I know this won't be top of your list, but I just wanted to bring it up.
Now,
Do you know what should be at the top of our list?
what
we're
the
doing
words to
next.
do.
probably finding Uncas.
Or
Did he run away?
Now,
or we go do something else.
I have a
I
vested
feel like
interest
if we
in.
leave him to brew on things that have happened that could cause more danger for us in the future. Plus, Muscle, doesn't he still have your vial?
I have the vial, but I don't know what that means for my whether I'm safe or maybe we should take this to get looked at by someone.
I get that. I understand what you're all saying, but wouldn't it be better to make loads of money?
Well, I don't care about
if-
the money. I'm
if
quite
Muscle kind of,
independently
like-
wealthy.
If Muscle kind of just dies because Uncas just decides to, like, kill him, then we don't really care.
Hmm.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I have quite a vested interest in going after Uncas. I know that I remember very clearly that his ruffians and necromancy types were investigating dragons and the such, and
All I'm gonna, guys, you're looking for a bat, okay? You're looking for a bat that's like 2 weeks away.
well, I used to know a spell called locate bat, but
Oh, because he's a vampire, right? Okay.
but that's gone.
Listen, at this point, like with you guys, I really don't give a shit what happens next.
Uncas is gone.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
We
know how
should
we
leave.
like. We
And
told
how
the room
about
lady about it, and
we
I'm sure
go
they're
be-
gonna look.
International heroes and earn loads of money. Because I've got a job lined up, and I think you guys would be just the right crew.
Does it involve dragons?
It involves adventure,
Does it
royalty.
involve taking advantage of poor innocent people, or the opposite?
The opposite.
Well, I'm in.
We won't be taking advantage of poor innocent people. We will be saving rich people.
I ain't in for saving rich people. I'm out.
Rich people who can help us also become rich.
I
I'm
would
in for saving
suggest
rich people.
that we do a very smart move and
What if I
split
was
the
to
party.
When I say rich people, I mean
How about Tyr leaves, and I come back with some kind of murderous wench?
How about we each go our separate ways and spend the entire session doing a 5-way roleplay session?
I love it.
Don't make me set off a nuclear bomb again.
But
Tyr, what about saving refugees?
Tyr does feel very close to Froggy at this point, and kind of feels like she does need to look after him a little bit.
Tyr,
So
He's the only one
refugees.
she cares about.
Saving refugees. How's that?
Yeah, I'm in. But
Okay,
are they
she's
rich
in.
refugees? Are they real refugees? Or
They are
just...
real refugees.
I
Some of them may be rich. Most of them
couldn't
will not be rich.
Okay, I'm in.
really give a damn. So long as there's a dragon.
so
I'm sure we can work something out.
Froggy raises his hand.
so
You're not a dragon.
Uncles, his name, whatever, the guy who was bad. Yeah, we don't know where he is, and we told Throne Lady, and she's gonna do things, I think. So, I mean, we don't know where we would go either. So, we might as well occupy our time, and then when it comes up, we can deal with it. Because I'm sure Throne Lady would tell us if something happens.
Let me just recap here. So, we have no idea where he went, right?
Uh-huh.
At all. He went north, I think, or east. He went a
We have
direction.
no idea.
No, so I think
Don't
you're,
even
you're
know-
getting mixed up, I think, Grungrat, with the direction that the Citadel went that flew in the air. And that went
But we
east.
have absolutely
Or
no
north.
idea where this guy could be. We don't
Or
even
south,
know who to ask.
Possibly west.
Exactly.
Does anyone have an of who we could ask to
No.
find out more about where he is?
Remember,
'cause I
Toad
didn't-
might know.
So I'm gonna chime in here because I feel duty bound as a DM to mention that Nimnul, the Commerce Guild, is from the same city as Onkus and vouched for Onkus as governor as Greymouth. You know that from previous.
Let's get a note sent there because
We could
I
rough
can
him up
hook
a
you
little
up, guys, with that.
So
We
you
could
have
do a-
contact with Nimrod.
I have a
Yes,
contact to
Nimrod.
get a message anywhere.
So-
You need a message getting somewhere I can get it to there. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we've got 6 months to do this contract. We could maybe hunt around for Uncas for a bit and then go and do it.
Yeah.
At least
Or-
get a lead
or we
on
could-
Uncas.
Yeah, or the other way around. I don't know. While we're waiting for information, because they obviously take time. So basically, Joe, I'm talking about my background, my
Mhm.
feature.
Mm-hmm.
but that will take time to do because I'll have to get a message to the contact, and then they will have to get a message out, and there's no guarantee they'll be able to get a message.
I mean, we could just go and talk to him.
Yeah, so you could do
Can't go
that.
that far away.
No,
Oh, we
no.
could go
He's on the
that way.
council, so he's in God's home right now.
Who?
The
Nimno.
guy we'd be talking to.
Oh shit, we could go talk to him.
He-
Sorry,
he-
I thought
he's part of the-
Nimrod was a
No,
plate.
sorry. No. Nimnol is he's the representative from the Commerce Guild on the Council of God's Home. He's the guy that looked really shifty when it was there was talk about bringing Onkus in, and when you actually came back and said that you sort of fought Onkus but didn't bring him in and he'd fled, he looked very nervous.
What
I
kind?
think
What,
we should at least rough him up a
it
little
was a
bit.
man with a gold coin and a huge clay building in the tapestry, right?
Yes, that's him.
Ah.
Well
yeah, let's go-
remembered, by the
let's
way.
go rough him up. Let's go rough him up. Thank you.
Very well remembered.
I
Okay.
wrote all the tapestries down. It's the one worthy thing I've done this whole time.
All right, so
I,
just
yeah, guys, let's pretend Tyr just divulged that information. I
mhm.
think if we're gonna go after Uncas, that's the guy that we should talk to.
Yeah.
I think even if
Speak
we
to him
don't
and
go
then-
after him, we should at least find out a little bit, if we can, just so we know. If this
But
guy
maybe
knows
he's
something
on
about him, he'd know.
Uncas' side, so do we need to be sneaky about it?
No.
No, we should go and rough him up. Because
Rough
even
him up a bit, intimidate him a bit.
well, we'll go and talk to him nicely at
We'll
first.
walk up to him, shoot him in the head.
I
and then
really
stand
think
up,
you
go.
should
that
not
is
take
Beaky's
the
Beaky's
lead on
that's
this one.
Beaky's thing, though. You know for sure.
Walk up to him, press a letter against his chest, and say you've been served, and then
Yeah.
shoot him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, maybe Beaky
Now that's a
stop
cut
taking
right
the
there.
lead on things. Because the last couple of times you've just kind of done what you want, and then it's got everyone in a heap of trouble. Is that going to be a recurring theme for this for this adventuring group?
Well, no. We
Be-
take it steady, and then Beaky, if we need him to shoot, we'll go shoot, and then Beaky goes. "Cool."
Is that cool, Beaky boy?
Oh, everything's cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
As
that's
long
not
as-
sad.
Come on then, let's go and see Numbnuts.
Okay, well, who is going to take the lead on talking to the guy?
I'll lead the way.
I thought
Follow
you
me.
Huh? No. He was just we were all introduced to him, but none of us know him. He's one of the council people. You know, everybody had their own tapestry. They're all really important.
I'm from the general area, so I could be like, "Hey, so how about being from general area?"
Yeah.
Just to note, he's from the Wildlands, which is south of where you're from. It's not like you're from the Dwarven Kingdom, of Kibarag, and he's in the Wildlands below that. You do a lot of trade with them, but I wouldn't say it's the same area because it's a totally different like culture. That's like
Hey,
kind of
how
like
about
a
Trading with my general area.
yeah, that's like the Wildlands is very much like Prince of Persia kind of shit, and your dwarf kind of stuff. But you do a lot of trade. Carl did a lot of trade with the Wildlands.
Well, let's just go and see what happens.
All right.
To the council.
So are you guys going to see the council requesting a meeting with the council
With Nimnuts.
with
We
Nimnuts
ca-
specifically?
Shall we request a meeting with Numbnuts?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay then. So we'll say that you send off through a god or something, unless you have some specific method of contacting the council. We'll say you sort of contact a god and ask them if you can have a meeting. Do you have a different way you want to do it, or is that appropriate?
That's
No.
appropriate.
Okay, so so you do that, and they say that you can meet Nimnor in his private residence the following evening. So you have one evening, or one day, should I say, to pick up any supplies that you might need to extract information or fight or whatever you think that you may need to do.
How many bullets you got, Birdie?
Lots.
Sorted.
All right, so fast forward.
How many can I actually carry at a time?
A million.
Shit tons.
That is a real good question.
Because otherwise, I'll just keep buying stuff every time I land anywhere.
So they are. How much do they cost? How much they weigh, should I say? They weigh. Okay, what's that in real money though? 2 pounds. What's that in real money?
Oh.
So about 10 bullets is about a kilo, apparently. So you'd probably be able to carry 50 to 100 comfortably in your backpack in various different sort of holsters and things.
Cool. We're okay then. Everything's fine.
All right. So if there's nothing else you specifically want to prepare for, let me get up. Let me get his thing up. Ooh, ROM? Nope. It is.
Back your spot
All right. So, basically, you approach a guard saying, "Oh, we're here to see Nimnol. We've got an appointment." And they take you all along the city to where is the map here? So they take you not through the Gods District. He lives around near the East Road, so that's on the east side of town. It's actually surprisingly one of the sort of less affluent parts of town. A little, not quite seedy, because there's no real seedy places in this town. It's sort of pristine and sort of white and gold everywhere. Everything's polished and shiny, but there's definitely a lack of luxury goods being sold around this area, and people generally wearing less affluent clothes. No strange embroidery or anything like that. And they sort of bring you up to this house. It's just 2 stories, nothing too fanciful. Again, white brick and gold and embroiders. And as you approach, one of his manservants opens the door. And he's a spindly man, a very spindly man. And he sort of opens the door, and you see these, how like you have those very thin, crooked, like hag fingers. Opens the door, and you can see him as he opens the door, these like almost spider-like fingers come out. And he says, Nimnol's expecting you.
Why are all your characters so creepy, Jeff?
Hey,
He's
What's your name,
expecting us.
little man?
Rashana's not creepy.
She gave me vibes.
Creepy eyeball.
Yeah, she did give vibes. Yeah, you're right. All the characters are creepy.
She's definitely turned on by frogs. That's all I'm gonna say.
Who isn't turned on by frogs?
More
Whoa.
specifically,
Me.
Frog.
For sure.
Frog
Free.
is a frill.
Frog
He's
is a real.
he's dressed in these sort of pastel colors, sort of very muted, but these reds and tans and purples that you kind of it definitely reminds you of Onkus's mansion in Greymouth, the kind of colors that were on the tapestries and the paintings. And he's not hooded, but the sort of way his hair is cut into this sort of almost like a bob, you know, this sort of parting right down the middle, sort of a greasy hairline all the way down to his shoulders, straight down the middle the hairline is, and he
This guy, his kids.
and
Sounds like the guy from Shrek, the king, the small one, Farquaad.
oh,
That's what
Farquaad.
it
And he goes, yes, he is expecting you. If you come with me.
Oh, this isn't Nimnol.
No,
Oh,
no, no,
okay.
no.
Oh, this is his like.
His
advisor.
manservant.
And he leads you in. That even though the outside is very in keeping with God's home, white and gold and silvers, as you come in, you see it's almost striking, these gold pots and braziers and hearths and tapestries that look so similar to Onkus's mansion. There's such a strong design theme that goes through this that was shared with Onkus's mansion.
Oh.
Can I interest anybody in beverages or refreshments?
Oh, what you got?
He points over to a lovely side table full of various spirits that almost none of you except Grungrout will have ever have seen before, and a pitcher of wine and a pitcher of water.
Do you happen to have any Strongbeard's ginger ale?
Ah, we do, and we carry the finest batch that they ever made.
Oh yes, the vintage gold seal.
Ah, that's right, the gold seal, yes.
And he goes over and he takes a small, quite a small, almost like sherry glass, and he pours a little bit in, about 3/4 of the way, and he hands it to you.
Would everybody like a glass of the gold seal?
No, I'm okay.
Go
What?
on,
Inside this check. I just
Go
want
on,
inside check
Froggy.
this guy.
Sure.
I-
What are you looking for?
I just see if there's a reason why he's such a weird guy.
On a roof, yes.
Okay.
I don't
go,
get humans, but
yeah.
I
Go
can-
ahead. Roll an insight check. See what Froggy finds.
Froggies.
because Froggy would know anyway.
No, but like Froggy finds humans weird anyway, but this guy's just a special kind of weird. Let's go.
21.
Wow.
Damn, son.
All right. So,
What was it you were looking for?
Just want to see like why he's such a weird fuck. Like, again, Froggy finds humans weird. This guy's just particularly weird.
you get the impression that this individual, a little bit like yourself, here in God's home, feels a little like an outcast. He doesn't seem to fit the bill of the sort of pristine, almost heroic jawlines of everyone that you've seen in this city. And though there is something a little bit there's something a little strange about him. And speaking of the smell, he does have this smell of stale potpourri about him. But
It's like the forbidden snacks.
yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. There is something strange about him, but you, with 21 and you being a froggy boy, you just can't quite puzzle it out. But he seems like an outcast, and that seems like a reasonable explanation for you to why he's just a bit weird.
I'm just gonna lean over to Ter and be like, his skull is
a bit creepy. I would probably send back in the cantrip message.
Shall we kill her?
He looks over. He looks over to you, Froggy, as you say that. You whisper it. In fact, just make a stealth check for that, because he is quite the observant motherfucker.
Fucked it.
He's got 6 ears.
6 what?
Ear.
Wow. Okay.
What?
Okay. In which case, he
I'm proficient in something, guys.
he sort of looks over and he kind of tilts his head slowly and closes his eyes. He's poured a drink and he's handed it to Grungrout, and as you say that, he stops everything that he's doing and he just tilts his head and closes his eyes as if to try and hear you.
Grungrout's just kind of poking at him. He's shot at it and he's asking for another.
And he just goes,
Oh, my mistake. Here, have another.
and
I
he
like
pours,
rusty spoon.
he pours another and he says,
Would anybody else like something while Nimnol prepares for you?
Have
No.
a water, please.
No, thanks.
Grungrout, roll a constitution shit. No, I'm joking.
While I'm waiting for my water, can I please do an insight check on the room? And
okay.
I'm looking for how many expensive things there are in here.
Do a perception check for me then.
I will.
Can I do an insight check on the room to see if it's alive?
You can if you wish.
See if it's
No.
necromancy.
Necromancy.
Who knows? Maybe this room is a mimic.
That would be pretty cool.
Mimic.
15 was that your
Yeah.
There is a great deal of gold. Basically, all of the sort of pots and tankards and all of those sort of various kind of things you have in corners. What are they? Romans have them. They've got like they kind of look like a pear shaped, and they've got handles on the top of the stem. What are they called?
Handles.
Like a vase, but
Yeah, you know, he's
a
got
vase.
yes, tons of those, just like sort of dotted around bits of the rooms and on tables, and they're all made of gold. All of them are made of gold.
But is
and-
there anything made of gold that looks particularly expensive, or not even made of gold, but just something that looks like it's like, ooh, yeah, that's worth
all-
a bubble too.
Yeah, all of the tapestries, and there are various kind of gem encrusted sort of like beasts or animal heads.
Ooh.
Like real animal
The
heads?
musky
Yeah,
crystal
real
lion
animal
head,
heads,
got
yeah.
it. Got
But
it,
they've
got it.
embedded jewel. Oh god, that's tasteless.
Welcome to Nimnow's house.
I turned my nose up at the decor.
So as he gives everyone their drinks and
Congrats,
anything
classic
that you wanted, he goes,
I will inform the master that you have arrived. Ah, one moment.
and he sort of moves almost as if he's not walking, though to those perceptive enough, you'll see that he is, but he just walks with such a strange gait that it almost seems like he's not taking steps. And he walks out a door, and he you're alone for 5 minutes if you would like to discuss anything.
I will send a message, because I don't trust that he's not got this room bugged, to Beaky and say, this place is pretty creepy, what do you think to that guy?
Pretty fucking creepy.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, let's
I
not do
reckon he's
anything
pretty cool
rash,
at
but
parties.
he seems like he's a bit of a, I don't know, misfit. Might be useful.
Alright, so he comes down. He says that Nimnol is ready for us, and he brings you upstairs, brings you down a corridor, and upstairs to almost like a throne room.
Oh God, these
Very much like Ankus had in his mansion, and he sat on this this gold and brass seat with his tapestry. It's in the middle of the room. It's not like next to, like in front of a wall. It's in the middle of a room, but hanging down from the ceiling via like 2 long chains is his tapestry behind him. And he sat with his one leg across the other, sort of stroking his finely pruned goatee. He's got sort of olive-colored skin, a little bit weathered, but still quite young, probably 30s or 40s. Just stroking his goatee, and you can see his eyes are normal.
Oh,
Oh.
thank God for that.
You can see that his eyes are just a striking brown color. Not like Rashana's or Ankus's. And as you enter the room, he sort of one side of his mouth smiles a little bit, though none of that smile touches his eyes. Froggy, does anybody have a passive perception above 14? Or 14 or above?
What is it? It's for the
Just
8 plus
wisdom.
your wisdom modifier.
It's
Or is
just
it
your
8 plus your
wisdom.
perception.
It's
your
just what your wisdom is.
Okay, my wisdom's 16.
Okay.
Mine
My
is 13.
mine is 13.
So just Froggy. Froggy, you see that that sort of half smile doesn't touch his eyes a single bit.
His eyes are not stone cold, but his you mean it
demeanor
looks
doesn't
fake, right?
his demeanor doesn't match his eyes. His eyes seem almost anxious. And you walk into the room, and there are some seats arranged for you, just simple wooden seats, a small cushion on each one of them, and he sits you down, and the manservant just leaves. He leaves, not saying anything else. A quick bow to Nimnol, and he leaves.
Kill us all.
And Nimnol looks over you all for a moment. Does anybody speak before he does?
Tyr would wait for him to speak.
I wait for him to speak. I'm going to hold my action. When he starts talking, I'm going to go.
Okay.
Hello.
He waits a moment, holding the tension, and he well, I see that you have.
Bah!
Ah! Do you need
Who
to
are
say
you?
Would he
something?
really make that noise?
Huh.
Would he really go, oh?
Huh? No, he
Who
wouldn't.
are
You're
you?
That was a joke. That was.
right.
Sorry.
I am Nimnel. I am part of the Commerce Guild.
I'm going to do an insight check.
Sure. What are you looking for?
See if he's telling the truth.
Sure. Roll an insight check.
Why am I? Oh, my name is Nimflo.
My name's Nimnel. I'm part of the Commerce
Right
Guild.
there.
Clearly part of the
No,
tapestry
the thing
behind
is-
him, but it's fine.
I have trained eye. I can
We've
tell
s-
if someone's lying or
We've
trying
seen
to
him
hide
on the
something.
council.
So anime. He's lying. That is your name. What else has he got to hide?
Still rolled under 10, didn't I?
You get the impression that he's being as honest as he can be.
Very well. Continue.
I am on the I'm on the guild. I'm on the council of the Guild of Commerce, and I'm on the God's Home council. And I am.
Insight check.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Um.
You just said, what did you say? I missed it.
I just said insight check again.
Oh, so okay.
And I am here. I understand that you are looking for an audience. What is this concerning?
No idea why we're here.
I remember when we were in the chamber before, and we mentioned that Oncus had not been arrested, you looked rather uncomfortable. Not in a normal kind of politician uncomfortable, oh damn, we failed, but a little bit squirmy, a little bit shifty, uncomfortable. Don't see if you maybe know anything about Oncus that we should know.
Well, I did know Onkus personally before all of this unpleasantness came about, and I'll tell you now, I was nervous because, quite frankly, there's a killer on the loose, somebody that I know and I thought was a friend. That is why I was nervous.
How well do you know the guy?
Well, we grew up together.
What? Best friend anime quiz. Insight check.
Would you like to roll an insight check?
No.
Okay.
I was really joking. I wasn't the gasp.
We grew up together. We went to the same schools and universities, and he did, in fact, he was my best man at my wedding.
Oh, that's so sad. Because he's a horrible person.
Has he always been a vampire?
The immediate look of shock and disgust, sort of almost as it's like a physical, visceral reaction where it kind of almost looks like he might vomit. Having said that, it's very subtle, but I'd say all of you see that, seeing as you're kind of eagle-eyed on this guy. And he says,
Insight check, was it a genuine reaction?
Sure, yeah, do it if you'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Why
Roll an
not?
insight check.
Gotta do one. Insight. Oh, I'm good at insight. Oh, I'm bad at insight.
12. You get the impression that was quite genuine. It was he's disgusted and shocked that Onkus has turned out to be an asshole.
Oh.
I did not know that he was a vampire.
And he's practicing necromancy.
He sort of looks down at at the palm of his hand, sort of almost like he's considering what he's gonna say. You can see that he's a little shaken. No, this was very, very concerning news, but I provided Rashana and everybody on the council with the information that I had about our village and our city and our ways. And I hope that you don't think on me poorly because I knew him.
Well, I don't think poorly on you for knowing him. We knew him, and I would be open enough with you to say I trusted him completely.
He kept
With
me
my life
as
and
a
others.
slave.
He gave me a bath.
He did give us a bath.
He gave me a bath.
Wait, he did what?
But that's not the point. The point is, maybe you'd feel more comfortable telling us things that you didn't feel like you could tell the council. For instance, if you have any idea where he could be now.
There is a distinct pause in his next words. I don't know explicitly where he would be, but
I can
I-
imagine that you wouldn't want to let the council know anything that could incriminate you and remove you from your position. So we could make life easier for you if you do happen to know.
Can I do an actual, genuine
Okay.
insight check to see
Uh,
if he doesn't know the specifics, or does it seem like he's lying about that?
Sure. You roll an insight check on that, and Tia, roll a persuasion check for me, please.
23.
Jack. Oh, I got quite good persuasion for a sorcerer. Well, actually, no.
You've got high charisma, so yeah.
Yeah. In my head, it's always wisdom that's higher. But
Mm.
I think charisma, I always forget that I've got high.
And your background, you probably get proficiency in it.
No,
15. Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. Grungrout, you
Hello.
you get the feeling that he's holding something back.
Okay.
Not necessarily that he's lying, that he doesn't know explicitly where he is,
But maybe not telling the full truth.
yeah. Tia, so as you ask him, about perhaps not using the council, as an avenue.
not feeling comfortable telling the
Yeah.
council everything.
There are many parts of my business ventures that perhaps the council do not need to know about. Though it is well known in my city that I do these things, they might be frowned upon. What do you suggest?
It's in our interest to find this guy. And maybe I kind of feel like you know more than what you've let on so far about where he might be.
I know
Right
a
now.
great many things about a great many things. So,
Look, if you give us the information we need, we go and sort out Onkus, bring him to justice so he doesn't hurt anyone else. Keep your memory of him at least slightly pure before he does God knows what. We win, you lose slightly less. It's a win-win.
well, now you mention losing slightly less does sound good. Not.
Boom.
How
Well-
about
No.
how about I just
I-
win?
Well,
Win what?
when your friend Onkus, who you recommended, kills many more people, it's going to look awfully bad for you on the council.
Yeah, being his friend. It's going to make you look like a poor.
Perhaps a formal
Oh,
investigation will be launched against you,
And
and they find out about various things
roll
that you are doing.
persuasion with advantage on that. You see him.
that's-
Is this more intimidation or?
Yeah, roll intimidation with advantage. Because you see
Oh,
he's
can I
he's
Can I
shaking.
join in?
Can I do persuasion instead? Because that's a higher modifier. Oh,
Yeah,
I
okay,
Probably
yeah.
an intimidate
I'll
roll.
allow you to do persuasion if you wish. Yeah.
24.
That's nice. It's like
He sort of he uncrosses his legs and he kind of a little bead of sweat sort of forms on his brow. He doesn't touch it or wipe it away, but no, that is a very good point that my position on the council could be compromised, and that is very important for my business interests. Perhaps you can help me.
Yes, well, you tell us the information and we'll keep everything hush.
Perhaps you can help me even a little more than that.
Not sucking your dick?
Oh my. No, but perhaps there is I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Here, I give you some information. I keep my reputation clean, and you also perhaps find some resources that are valuable.
What's the catch?
The catch is perhaps the resources are heavily guarded.
So basically, you want us to steal some stuff, and then you're going to tell us where Onkus is.
Yes,
Or
let's
you're going to
just...
tell us where Onkus is if we say we will steal the stuff.
No, of course. That you would have to steal the stuff and acquire the stuff and bring it back to me. There are things that are very important for various business partners that have been wrongly distributed between people that are less than savory.
If only I had my pen that can record conversations right now.
Wait, you have one of those?
I'm on about, like detectives have like a microphone in the pen.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
ha! I've got you on tape. Now tell us where he is. No, I'm really kidding.
Grungrat's just gonna be like, "Ha! I've got you on memo."
I would say that I can't really say much more about this. Perhaps you can understand. And he looks at you, Beaky, seeing the sort of the way you hold yourself, and probably knowing a little bit about your reputation. A little bit more discreet. These people I deal with aren't exactly above the board.
How do we know that you're not bluffing and you're just not going to give us some crappy information?
You don't.
I need some kind of guarantee here.
There is no
that you've got-
guarantee. That is just my word and your need to find Ankus. And I am honest, I don't have anything to give you other than the information and the task that I have for you. I'm honest, I don't have anything else. But the information is not free.
If you cross us, we'll go straight to the council. Everything you've told us here, you'll be ruined.
Well, I think that we would both be ruined, because if you were to go and collect these items for me, you would be complicit in the illegal doings of...
3 words, my friend. Mutually assured destruction.
Indeed, I think you get it.
It's when 2 sorcerers shoot fireballs at each other.
I thought that was just a good time.
So what is it we're stealing and where from?
Well, I deal with many people. The merchants of God's home are one of them, though they seem to be very stuck up. Almost as if they are goody two-shoes, yeah? But there is a bandits hideout. There is a group that has been raiding my supply lines, and they have taken some artifacts, some weapons, some, how to say it, contraband that perhaps are more use to me than they are to anybody else. No, I won't say that. They were bound for somewhere unsavory, but they have been taken.
Oh no.
Perhaps you can acquire them for me.
Would you mind if I have 5 minutes with my compatriots here just to discuss this deal you're offering?
No, of course. You go ahead. I will enjoy a refreshment. And he claps his hands, and you see coming out of one of the doorways behind him a familiar-looking manservant. A quite
Veglani?
similar. No, not Veglani. Quite similarly garbed and quite similarly looking to the manservants that were around in.
Like freaky servants that all look the same.
Yeah, they look similar. Not quite the same, but all have this very strange, similar look to them. Come out and provide him with a glass of wine and some munchies while you guys turn away.
Wait, are these similar to the ones we saw in Uncas's place?
Similar but different. They don't have the same eyes as Anku's. They have normal eyes, but they've got that kind of look where the face is almost not featureless, but they're ambiguous features.
Androgynous.
Yeah, you might say.
Yeah. Would I know if that, like, these kinds of servants were a cultural thing from the area, or if it's creepy necromancy bullshit?
Roll a history check for me.
I was gonna say maybe we should ask him some more stuff. Get as much information as we can now about
I
them.
don't like the use of slaves.
Oh, my brain's melted.
No, you can't remember ever dealing with these outside of Anku's.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm a little creeped out by these servants. Guys.
I don't trust this dude.
I don't trust anyone who has servants. Look at what Angus did to me.
I don't know if we should trust this guy either, especially with the creepy servants that all kind of look the same.
Hey, Muscle, you want to do a Veglani on this guy?
Yes.
Well, wait.
Yes.
No, guys, we can't just murder everyone we meet.
Yeah, we can.
Murder hobo campaign.
It really is. If we murder this guy, yes. He's a fairly important guy, on the top of the council, and if we were gonna murder him, we would have like significant reason to do so. Two creepy manservants who kind of look like twins, justifying murdering the guy for me.
Do
How
we...
about if he doesn't give us the information we need, then we kill him.
How about I forgot my voice. I'm doing a muscle. How about instead of we're talking quite privately, by the way, here, like on the other side of the room, I'd guess. Has he given us some privacy to talk?
I'm murdering him,
Okay.
as far as we can tell.
How about we investigate some of these nefarious things he's mentioned, and go to the council and fuck him over. When he's in prison, he'll probably tell us everything.
Maybe we should ask him some more questions before we agree. Maybe we should ask him just straight out about the servants and how he can explain how they all look the same.
Yeah, sure.
Disgusting.
So, those of you just joining the stream, you can now buy our new merch, Joe Pissing, for only $19.99.
It's live streaming.
Oh, same.
Wow, you guys are so insane.
We really are. Cool. Okay, so Tyr would be suggesting the following action, and then we can all discuss what everyone else thinks we should do. Tyr would be saying, let's. I mean, maybe after everything that's happened,
There's
slaves.
been a burger.
I think Tyr would be suggesting that we talk to this guy some more. Maybe we ask him to show us around the place to get to know him a bit more. We do some kind of like sneaky investigating to find out what's up with the weird servants, and then we can decide whether we take his job or whether we go away and tell Roshana that we think he's really suspicious. Or we can murder him.
I think we should murder him.
I say, if he doesn't give us the information we need, then we murder him.
I think we should.
You guys are so quick to murder.
I
Jesus.
think we should probably just not do his stealing thing and just turn him in. Clearly not a good dude for this city.
But
He
Okay, so
himself said
what's-
he would use it against us if he had the chance.
how is that conversation going to go? Hey, Roshana, you should definitely arrest this guy. We went to speak to him, and we have a suspicion that he knows more than he's saying, with no evidence.
No, well, we know he's got nefarious dealings going on. So if instead
He's
of
asking us to help out.
so
He's
instead
asking us
of
to kill some bandits, that's not exactly nefarious.
wait, I thought it was we were stealing some stuff.
Some
did I
bandits have stolen some things from his trade routes that he would like us to get back. That's not exactly like.
Okay, fair enough. Are they
Dealing
bandits though, or are they bandits?
Well, he said bandits, but he could be lying.
Okay, fine. Let's do this quest.
Well, I'm not saying we do the quest. I'm just trying to figure out.
Oh, we should get some more information first, definitely.
And level up once or twice before facing upwards.
Nice thinking.
So can we? Froggy, what do you think?
Well, hard one really. Guy's weird. All you guys are weird and well, but I don't think there's a problem with us doing this bandit thing. I mean, if it's dodgy, then we can be like, hey, we don't have to actually do this because this is actually transporting dodgy things, and then we have evidence. But then like, if it's good, then if it's legit and it is bandits, then fair enough. And then we get some information.
What do you think, Beaky?
I don't like this dude. I say we leave. We go do a heist.
His heist or a different heist?
Beaky's heist.
Okay.
Either we recover the stolen things, and if we don't get the information, kill it.
Heist.
I think the uncle's thread is a thread that we don't really want to leave unthreaded.
Yeah.
Your thread?
A thread. I think we could definitely do both, and we've got 6 months to do this other boy. And we only do things like 2 days or so a session, sometimes a week. We've got plenty of time, and if it gets nearer to the end of this, like if we get 3 months into the Conquest thing, we can go and do the.
That can wait for a while, right? Let's get this sorted first.
Like, there's a time limit to it, but it's a long time limit. It's not like if we don't do it straight away. Whereas
My life may hang in the balance if that, influences you anyway.
I mean, I don't give a shit, but I'm so sure some of these guys care about you a bit.
I think necromancy's got something to do with my memory loss, so I'd rather like to follow up on it.
You have memory loss?
No.
I didn't think so.
I don't remember
Nice
anything
save.
about that.
Nice. Great save. Great save. Alright, so Nimnol is kind of just drinking, and it's been maybe 10 minutes now as you guys are talking, and He hasn't said anything. He's just happily eating some fruit and drinking some wine and said nothing to you. Almost, it's kind of unnerving.
Joe, why are all you characters creepy?
Okay, so should we ask to have maybe be shown around his place a bit and get to know him a bit more before we get in bed and do business with the guy? In a high alert kind of way.
I think that might raise suspicion that we're
Oh, let's
looking more into him.
let's just go kill some bandits. I want to do combat.
Let's go kill some bandits.
I need to acquire dead bodies so I can plant more trees.
No, you don't need to do that. I've explained this.
Yes, he does.
No.
I must not ignore the science, Froggy.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay then.
Okay, well, I have a question,
Mhm.
this is just before we leave or whatever. But you know, if you want someone to be able to get in you know how you would give someone a phone number and be like, call me. How's that work in D&D world?
You'd probably give them a mailbox of some kind. You know, if I regularly checked this in or send my mail to the temple of God's home.
You can also get items called sending stones, which are just walkie-talkies.
They only work in a certain range, though, right?
If Claire wanted to like do that, how would she do that? Would she give it to like her home address?
You could.
And then it would get forwarded on.
So you would definitely know this with your background. You could just say to an inn, like a tavern, say I'm expecting a message. I'm expecting a package, and then have them, whoever you're speaking to, have it get sent there to the king in cask, maybe. Right.
But if it was more, if it wasn't a package, if it was more kind of like a kind of like you want them to get in contact with you sometime, like a flirty thing. How does that work?
You would probably just say, I'm gonna be here at this time. Find me.
At this time, yeah.
Unless they're magic,
Okay.
in which say you'd say,
Oh, that's like
send me.
this.
Yeah.
Huh.
And like
Okay.
powerful people would probably have access to a magician or something.
Yeah.
So-
No, this isn't a powerful person that she was gonna flirt with. Okay, never mind.
Oh,
Just
you're doing a
good to know.
flirt. I see. Was it
You're
a
gonna-
grand?
Were you gonna flirt with that creepy old dude who gets the beer?
That was the thinking. Okay, good to know.
That's hot, though, right? You flirting with that guy.
Well,
That's
you know, he looks
the
a bit
reason. That's the reason I made that guy, so you could flirt with him. So
And we can meet him at an inn later and like kidnap
Oh.
him, beat him up, get all the information out of him that we can, and then get drunk.
That's
then you won't
that's
remember
not
what
what I was thinking.
Well,
Yeah, we can take
you
him to
know-
an inn later and kidnap him. Bruh.
Mm.
Okay.
that's
But
super
we're
hot, by the
staying
way.
at an inn, right? We're
What?
staying. I mean, it's not at all. It's really
I
gross.
mean, I'm only joking, but to be clear.
Well, are we staying at an inn at the minute?
Well, you're at the
King
King
of
and Cask, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's the dive bar. It's the one where all the beds aren't really beds. They're straw on the floor.
Mm.
Straw mattresses on the floor.
So that is even more hot. Yeah.
Don't
Okay,
get me
well, I'll make
started.
a decision on whether-
I finished a role play encounter last night, ready for this guy, and sex. So,
Well, I'll decide while we talk to the guy about whether Tyr will do this. I think it's a good idea. Cool. And this conversation didn't happen. I was just wondering how it worked. Okay, cool.
But it did happen.
And we all know what a
Yeah.
dirty
Yeah,
person you
this, this guy Nimrod just has heard all of this. So guys, if I want to give that creepy
And
butler my
Tyr just
number.
looks over to this creepy dude and just raises her eyebrows. Fucking
Nice
grim.
one. Cool.
Okay, so you've had this conversation. Are you ready to involve Nimnol again?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so
Yeah.
he looks over as you sort of turn around and expectantly look at him. He is he's just sort of finishing off a wine and a little bit of cheese and cracker and apricot, and he's just he goes, "Ah, great, you all ready?"
Yeah.
Yes.
So what have you
I think-
decided?
We'll help you out
That is
for
fantastic
a
to hear.
price.
For a price, okay.
Yeah, we want the
10,000.
information, but we also want some money out of this too. You know, we gotta eat.
Well, I'm
If you don't give us the right information, we'll fucking kill you.
Oh, I have no doubt of that.
He does like to kill people, so.
10k.
I pull out the werewolf head that I ripped off in episode 1 and show him.
That's a week old. That's like 2-3 weeks old. That is rotting. That is barely holding
In that
together.
case, In that case, I pull it. No, didn't I get it stuffed?
Did you?
Did you? Was that a dream I had?
I was going to. Okay, then. In fact, in that case, that's even better. I pull out this rotting werewolf head, and I just sort of throw it at his feet, and like, this will be you.
It sort of squelches on the ground, the sort of pristine kind of iridescent sort of gold and silver, and it just squelches and slides, and it goes, ugh, that is barbaric. Ugh.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that you are capable of it, but why? Ugh.
It's
Just-
I kept it as a warning to people like you. But now I need a replacement head to keep in my bag for warning for the next guy, so just keep that in mind.
Well, perhaps you can liberate one of the thieves' heads and use that.
So you said these guys are bandits, right?
Yeah, that's what he called them.
That's what I'm asking him.
Oh, yes, they are, I mean, if you ask Rashana or any of the common people of Godstone, there are no bandits in Abanazia. It is a holy place, a place without, lawlessness and crime. But,
And yet here you are.
and yet here I am. They are, I would call them thieves, bandits, perhaps, something more sinister to a more keen eye.
Bankers.
MPs.
Boris Johnsons.
So,
So he calls them thieves and bandits. Other people might know them as something else.
yeah, basically.
Is that what he's saying?
Some may
Yeah.
call these roads.
Yeah,
Me?
that's
I
essentially
call
what he's
fresh.
saying, yes.
And what might these other people call them?
Well, I do not feel, I'm not, let's just say it is unpleasant.
Well, I
Are they
feel that
vampires?
He sort of, again, sort of looks uneasy and uncomfortable. I didn't even know vampires could be in my sort of life before this business with Uncus. But, everybody who's interested in this, roll a history check for me.
History.
Everybody's
There's no
interested
point
in what
in
he's on
Froggy
about.
Froggy knows nothing.
Grungrout knows less than nothing.
Why
Taylor
don't these
knows
guys?
surprisingly a lot.
Why are these guys' eyes so small?
But he don't give shit.
So just Grungrout and Tia who are kind of thinking about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Grungrout, you're just like, "Gee, this guy's creepy as fuck, bro. Tia, you're kind of thinking back to the very first time you met everybody, and those strange people that fell from the airship, and
The terrorizers.
the the emblem and the note that they were carrying.
Yeah.
They're the only kind of bandits or kind of people besides the werewolves that attacked you. They're the only kind of lawlessness that you've seen in Abanazia, is people who drop from the sky. So that you kind of get the idea that might be.
Now that's very interesting. Now, Joe,
Mm-hmm.
this is going to be very cryptic, so you might have to go into whisper if you don't know what I'm on about.
All right.
But with the thing that has happened,
Mm-hmm.
would I remember the thing in my backpack now?
Yeah, you have that in your backpack, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm not going to bring it out now. I just want to know for in a minute.
That's what happened with that, basically that kind of,
Is that the
interaction
same-
was... Yeah.
Is that the same thing?
Yeah. You
So
thought,
I only
you thought,
ha-
you
I
thought
only
it was
have
this
that one.
one thing, and then you had this conversation, and it actually ended up being this... It was that, but it ended up being this kind of even stranger, more cryptic, more sinister thing.
Okay, hang on. Can we go into whisper?
Okay, we'll be back in 2 seconds, guys.
Oh my god.
So I'm talking about the cloudy green gem from the storyteller in the pub.
Oh, okay. I didn't think you were on about that. Okay. Let me just
'Cause
check my notes.
And then I was like, wait, is that the dragon orb and that guy knew me? Or because that seemed important to that guy and he was involved with like the people, and I've been kind of trying to remember that I have it for a while.
Yeah, of course. So
In roleplay, I've not been able to bring it out the whole time, but I was just remembering if I was just wondering if I'd remember that I have that now.
yeah, of course. So yeah, so it's actually not a shard. It is an orb. Though there are some cracks in it.
A
gem.
cloudy green gem I've got
Yeah.
written down.
Yeah, so it's basically similar to what you've got in your satchel now, but it's cracked.
Right. So that's separate to the dragon orb that I have. That's not the same thing.
They look similar.
It looks similar, but it's not.
You don't know?
Like I have two orbs, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you have two orbs. One. Well, you actually haven't looked at that other orb yet in roleplay, so you don't really know what that is. And then you have this green one.
Okay, but I remember that I have it.
You remember that you have this other orb, but you haven't looked at it and sort of considered its color or anything like that. But you have this other orb, which is green, that is slightly broken.
Okay, cool.
Right?
Okay,
Is that satisfactory? Is
Yeah,
that okay?
so I have this dragon orb that's the memory one,
Mm-hmm.
and then this cracked green one.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, yeah, that sorts it out for me. Thank you.
No problem.
What's fucking going on?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, right.
Are you just considering the insanity of what's happening?
No, I was looking at that thing about Trump using white hat clones.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that I sent.
Sorry. Yeah. I was like, what?
I love it.
All right. So, where were we?
We were questioning him
So we
about
just
stuff
killed
and
him.
things. We were talking about bandits, and then Tia remembered that there were airship bandits.
Yes, of course. So yes, they might be known as something more sinister elsewhere, but here, bandits. So do you
Cool.
want this? Do you want this? This deal? I'll give you
What have they
any.
stolen?
Now that is a question. They have stolen some artifacts from my
What
homeland.
artifacts? Where's your homeland?
The wildlands below the dwarven kingdom of Kibrag.
Represent!
How big are said artifacts?
They vary.
How many of said artifacts?
There are many.
When
This
was the
isn't
last
useful
time-
information for someone doing a job for you.
When was the
We're
last
trying to
time
get
you
something
saw said artifacts?
I haven't seen said artifacts
So they're not
exactly.
yours, are they?
It was a transaction between, and I was the facilitator. You have to remember, I am part of the Merchants Guild. There are many ways that you can be a merchant, a trader. This particular trade was a.
So if we come back with one of these, that's enough, right?
I would hope that you would come back with all of them.
Well, you haven't specified how many there are.
Or what they are.
Or
I
why
could
they
come
are.
back with a sack of gravel, and that would come up as many
You
some things.
haven't said that you are going to do it.
I think we've implied that we will.
But I am
Listen
from the
here,
Merchants
buddy.
Guild. There is a contract that needs to be signed. If not in writing, then in words.
What would happen if the authorities knew that we held these in our possession?
Let's just say that it would be best if they did not know. At least in God's home.
Interesting. Is any of these... Are they in containers? Like shipping containers for travel? Like, are they in crates?
Tupperware?
Some
Are they
of them-
branded with anything that would link them to you?
They are
Do
branded,
they need,
but
do
nothing
they need to
that
be
would.
bubble wrapped?
I would suggest that you would handle them carefully. They are of great value, but they are branded, but not with anything that would identify them to me. But something
What would
that might
identify them to?
Perhaps I do not feel comfortable.
Are
Speaking
you
of
involved with a
this.
certain war currently ongoing in the east?
There is no war in Bansi, say.
I don't know if that is conducive conversation. We're in God's home right now. There is no
Are you
war
talking
here.
about people?
Huh?
Are you smuggling people?
I think
these
he is
artifacts
smuggling
people?
people. He's smuggling people.
What's with the third degree, guys? No,
Inside check.
roll an insight check. What are you looking
my
for? To see whether he's lying about smuggling
Is he
people?
lying about smuggling peeps?
I'll also do that because, like I said, I have trained eye and I can tell if he's telling the truth or
Oh
not.
shit!
Go
we're
ahead.
doing this right.
What does your feature say that you can actually tell if they're telling the truth, or if you can?
Extensive practice at concealing items has given you an uncanny ability to tell whether someone is hiding something, whether someone is telling a half-truth or actively hiding a dagger in their belt.
So you don't have to roll for that. He's definitely hiding something. You don't know what though.
Cool.
With a 10,
Can I
He's-
detect thoughts on this guy?
Absolutely. Was it a wisdom? Or is it
Come on,
just,
guys,
how
let's
does it work?
go in on him.
Let me just see, like, it's not leveled, so it's just level 2, I guess. For the duration, I can read the thoughts of certain creatures. When you cast a spell, and as your action on each turn until the spell ends, you can focus your mind on any one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you. If the creature you choose has an intelligence, blah blah blah. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, and then if I choose to delve deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind. If it succeeds, the spell ends.
Mm-hmm. So basically, you don't need to roll. I don't need to roll anything for the initial sort of probing the very surface thoughts. But if you want to know anything else, that'd be a roll. Correct.
So yeah, that's the way it's worded. Because we've had this. I think we've had this conversation each time, haven't we? Because it's a bit dumb, really.
It's a bit.
But
Yeah, it's a bit weird. So yeah. So if you want to detect the very surface thoughts of this character, are you gonna do that? Yeah, you're gonna cast detect
Basic-
thoughts.
It's quite a long bit of. It's probably best that you read the whole thing. I'm
Okay.
gonna send it to you.
I've just got it up.
Resend it.
Just now got it up on D&D Beyond. So let me just.
Maybe just really quickly read it because it's really long. Because it lasts for a minute, so I can use it to like shape conversation too. But I don't know if that part is relevant to me having like used detect thoughts like and made him do a save to probe deeper, or whether that guides his like surface thoughts. Because if you're having a conversation with someone and you're using detect thoughts to just read their mind, and
Yeah.
that's the surface level of their thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
then to me that would say like you can kind of read what they're thinking as you're talking to them.
So the way that I read the way that I read this, the way that it's to me is that you cast it, you get to read what's on the top of his thoughts, and then you can move that to other people basically for free in the duration. If you want to probe deeper to get an idea of sort of plans and sort of tangential thoughts and a sort of train of thought, he'd have to make a wisdom saving throw. And if you're talking to him while this is happening, it becomes more effective, basically. If you're kind of leading the conversation so he's done the wisdom saving throw, he's failed, for example, and then you're like asking him questions to direct the conversation to what you want, he would be more prone to give you answers that are beneficial, is how I see that. So initially, there's no roll, and you get to hear what's on the top of his thoughts, kind of like, oh, I'm hungry, oh, this is scary, I'm nervous, kind of thing,
Yeah. So I think what Tyr would have done, like, when everyone was kind of going, is it humans? Is it humans? And say people?
Mm-hmm.
Is it people? I think I would have cast it there, like, then maybe catch the end of his thoughts as that conversation is happening.
Mm-hmm. Sure. As soon as you do that, you read the surface of his thoughts, and you are immediately met with, "You dare read my mind! You dare read my mind!
Oh,
You dare
for
read my
goodness sake.
mind!"
Why are they all so powerful?
These guys.
I'm gonna probe deeper.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll roll a wisdom saving throw. Is it?
So it says that you've got the save is 16, I think, because you've got to
Sure.
get 16
So
higher.
my boy Nimnau, what is that? Okay, that's not
Fucking
bad.
Nimrod.
Nimble nuts.
What's the save?
16.
He succeeds, unfortunately.
Oh, Joe. Come on.
I know. Well, it's in my. It's actually on the stream. Don't look at it, of course, but it's on the stream, so I'm not lying.
That's cool.
He succeeds. So unfortunately, you can't probe any deeper. Now, let me just. Does he know that you've tried to probe deeper? Interesting question.
It just says the spell ends.
Yeah, if succeeds, spell ends. Yeah, okay, great. So he doesn't know that you've detected any thoughts. That the experience you just had was really, really similar to Rashana.
Yeah, I could tell. These guys are all trained in this sport.
Probably
blocking.
a council thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, in response to Beaky asking, "Are you smuggling humans?" he says, no, I don't see it like that. That is not how.
You don't see it like that.
It's not.
So it is people.
No, it isn't people. It is artifacts.
It's
If I get there and the thing we are bringing back to you is living, I'm not bringing it back.
Yeah, they're not people because technically they're ogres or something.
Well, he specified living, so but no, I think that is fair.
The dead bodies.
Corpses.
This is I.
Is it really in your best interest for us to be surprised when we get there and retrieve this thing? Whatever it is.
No,
Or
but
it's
we
probably
are.
just best to tell them now.
You have to.
Do you really want
remember,
us to be surprised, find out that it's something terrible, and then tell the council with evidence of your wrongdoing?
we are in God's home. There are people who see. There are spells that.
Yeah, we all
pierce.
see, dickhead. We've all got eyes.
Okay, well, that wasn't very nice, was it? There are things that I cannot control. Perhaps talking about, these more ambiguous kind of deals is not in our best interests right now.
Could you write it on a piece of paper and hold it up so the cameras can't see?
I could. He actually pulls out a piece of parchment. He writes down something. And he calls over his manservant, the one that greeted you, the one with like the spindly hands and the greasy hair, and comes over.
Yes, my lord.
What's his name? What's the guy's name?
You don't know. He never asked.
You said that he calls him over.
He
So
just
I'm wondering if he called him over by name.
doesn't call him over by name. Beckons.
That's who.
Yes, my lord. And he gives him this piece of paper. The aide reads it, closes it, and whispers something over it. And hands it over to Beaky.
Thank
Is
you.
he going to be in Thieves' Camp?
What am I looking at here, Jay?
So you open it up, and the letter. You open it up, and you can see that the parchment is blank as it stands right now.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. I
Cheers, bro. This doesn't have anything on it.
no, it doesn't at the moment. But as soon as you leave
As
God's
you
home,
write what you mean, it'll be on it.
no. As soon as you leave God's home, it will reveal itself.
Ah,
But you have to teach me how to do that.
I do not trust that we are not being watched
By who?
by
Deep state.
everybody, my
Friends
dear.
on the council?
The council, the ward, Nurgard, the orcs, anybody.
Oh,
please respond.
So how much are you going to pay us to do this? As well as
10
the information.
10k?
I will pay you in valuable information.
That valuable to us, you know. We're
And-
trying to.
Favor
Huh?
with the council.
We got favour with the council. I think you quite understand how much Froggy and Rashawn are getting.
He
on right now.
raises his he raises one eyebrow at you, and he says, "Favor with the council, you say? Well, I must be mistaken, and your friend here taking some liberties with excessive force.
Is he looking at
Guy
me?
gets more cocky
He-
by the minute.
He raises his eyebrows at Tyr, but he says your friend taking liberties. He does glance over towards you.
Bro, he started on me.
Say excessive force.
They did, in fact, say excessive force, and I think that perhaps my influence on the council could be very favorable for you.
Can I do one more thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can I ask you your feelings about Rashana and Onkus's relationship?
Rishana and Onkus. What about their relationship?
The fact that they're so totally related.
You know, you know him really well. I just want to know how you feel about their relationship.
Which
To
god
each
did
other.
they follow? Who have
Well-
they sold their souls to?
Okay, actually, that's a good question to ask, Ben. And you have to give me 1 second to consult my notes.
Oh my.
They are banging. That is what their relationship is.
Either bro and sister or
Well,
definitely.
Rishana,
And
as you
Looking
know,
at the notes to check how and in what frequency they are banging.
Tyr has all the dirt on the relationships.
As you know, this is God's home. It is the most holy city on the continent. And there
Yes,
are
that's
many
it.
pantheons and gods that are worshipped here. And I believe Rashana worships Dien.
Dien?
Dien.
Is it-
D-I-N-E.
Dien?
D-I-E-N-E. Sorry.
Does this god have a physical appearance?
It does. At
What
least...
colour are its eyes?
That is a curious question.
Not that curious. The eyes are the first thing you look at on any person.
The eyes are gold. They are depicted as gold,
Hmm.
at least in this city. Who knows about anyone
Was
else's?
was Onkus like a religious guy or?
I think Onkus found interest in the gods, but I don't really know anymore. He
Did he ever deal in quail?
I believe that quail was a delicacy of his village.
This guy's evil.
Does he have a mate called Galactic Albatross?
He does.
But there are many depictions of the many gods. I wouldn't put too much weight on one
You wanna
thing.
answer my question about how you felt about their relationship, or
The-
you skirt
oh.
around that?
Sorry, there's so many questions. I'm a bit blindsided. Of course, their relationship. Well, they didn't know each other too well. They met when I introduced him as a candidate for governor. He had run many businesses. He had been a counselor at the town that we lived. And as far as I know, they got on just as well as anybody else on the council.
Okay, cool. And insight check, just whether I think this guy is not telling the whole truth, I guess. But I don't
Go ahead, roll
Maybe it doesn't
insight.
fit.
Roll insight.
Oh, roll insight.
I don't know if I'm proud or kind of scared about how suspicious I've made you as a group.
6.
Constant
No idea.
vigilance, Joe.
Yeah, you guys are way more stressed about these things than any of our groups have been in other campaigns. 6. you think he's telling the truth. You know, the way he's speaking, and he doesn't seem like he's lying. Beaky, you might see that he's not telling exactly what he should be telling.
Bastard.
Push him, intimidate, persuade.
Kill.
You're lying.
What makes you say that?
I can always tell when a person's not telling me the truth.
He's really good at poker.
I don't think I'm telling you a lie, but maybe I'm not telling you the whole truth. But
So there was something freaky going on between them. You just don't want to tell us what it is.
Yeah, did
I
you
get
ever notice anything funny about the two of them?
only some strange glances, some...
Star-crossed lovers.
I knew it.
Their eyes were always so similar. I assumed they might...
Right? We noticed that too.
I just thought they might...
But you knew Uncas for a long time, right? So you would have known if he had any brothers or sisters.
He does
Did his
have...
eyes like change at all?
They did. They were not always that strange color.
They were not always that strange colour, huh? You
I
ever
just...
think that Rashana might be a vampire?
A what? A vampire? The holy leader of Godsom? That is blasphemy. You have to be careful
Well,
where
that's
you
what
say
your
that.
friend was.
Listen, I get the impression that you're a bit of an underhand guy.
How old is she?
I don't know, and I don't think it is polite to ask somebody of Rashana's
Why?
station.
I've never thought it's impolite to ask someone's age. It merely describes how long a person has existed on this planet.
Not of course. It's just perhaps it is a relic of my culture. To ask a woman her age is just uncouth.
Okay, how old was Uncas?
Well, I am 55, and he was a little younger.
Ah, so he's 13. I get it.
But come to think of it, he doesn't look as old as me.
Well, you just said
And-
he was younger.
Can you remember when you felt like his eyes changed? And also, did Rashana's eyes change colour at a similar time? Or did she have the eyes first? Or did he have the eyes first?
Tell us,
I-
where were the eyes?
Who had the eyes? Who began with the eyes?
I have
Who ended
always
the eyes?
known Rashana with those eyes, and
She had
Uncas, we grew up and we went our own ways. I decided to become a trader, a businessman, and he decided to do some adventuring, and he ended up on the council of a town, but he was more, a kind of sergeant or captain's guard or something. He didn't, he was away a lot. Sometime around then that he changed. I just assumed that it was magic, he got an augmentation, an enchantment. I didn't talk about it much, Yeah, you grow up together, but, when you're adults, you don't keep in touch as much,
No, good old man. Say.
One thing I do want to ask before we get in bed and do business together. One last thing.
Mm.
Uncas seemed like a really cool guy to begin with, but the one thing that was really strange was he had a lot of servants that all looked very similar. I have to say, sir, your two servants that I've seen so far look suspiciously similar to each other.
That is something that comes up a lot, actually. That is,
Are they twins? Or is it something to do with where you come from?
it is something to do about where he come from. That is, there is, I don't know how to say this, you know, many people don't understand our ways, our culture. But, people, those who are less fortunate, those, urchins, those on the bottom of the barrel, they can choose to accept a new life, a new purpose, if they wish. And they become chosen. And those chosen...
I just word this very carefully if you're about to say that they're gonna be slaves, because and I'll just like kind of look at Muscle.
No, they are not slaves. They are given complete choice about, you know, what is happening to them. It is a normal thing. Some people decide that they don't want to be detritus. They don't want to be on the bottom of the barrel, and they become manservants. They're not slaves. They trade a life of disease and squalor for a life of purpose.
Are they free to leave whenever they choose?
In a way, yes.
In what way?
I think that this is a more complicated issue than is not black and white. You know, cultures have different things and different ways, you know, we think about things. They have informed consent when they go into it. But
They're kind of selling their soul to you guys.
That just sounds like slavery with extra steps.
I don't want to say it's slavery. It isn't. They
Do
are...
they get paid?
But
Do
there
they
might
have free
be
will?
for a really long time. It's me.
Huh? What?
I've had my mic muted for like the last 15 minutes.
Oh no!
Oh god.
One
They-
day these people will rise up against you.
That seems unlikely, but they are treated well, and they are given every comfort and luxury
Are
in
they
our culture.
lobotomized?
Lobotomized. You could say that in a way. They are both more than what they were and less than what they were.
Like a hive mind?
I think that is a good way to put it.
Huh. So, why do yours all look the way they look, and then Uncas's all looked a different way?
It is, the process is unique. It is, different every time, you know, the things that we do, it's not perfect, you know, you have different looks, different...
So you actually change what a person looks like?
They become more, uniform.
And you chose for your guy to look like that guy?
Not
For
that
your
I
guys to look...
Not that I chose them to look like this, it's just the way that they look.
The original one looked like that, and then they all kind of cloned to look like the original one?
In a manner of being, yes, that is kind of how it works.
Wow, genetics.
They're white hat clones for Donald Trump.
Froggy is so confused and so just the entire conversation, just all of it's just like, I don't know. Why is this man so weird? Why are we suspicious? I don't understand why suspicious outside of the guy being weird. Why are these people the same? I don't understand anything that's going on.
Froggy's lost.
Just
Guys,
like they all came from the same egg sack of frog spawn.
do we finish at 10 or half 10?
Rough 10ish. Yeah. So.
Half 10ish.
Oh yeah, I'll have to go at 10.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be up
Yeah,
at 6, so.
I got one more question. The only other thing Tyr would ask this guy
Mhm.
is to elaborate more on the comment he made about Roshana and Onkus giving each of their looks across the room.
I don't want to make aspersions about the holy leader of this city. I mean, all I saw was some strange looks. I don't want to say that, they were doing the dirty. I don't want to say that they were planning something. What I saw was strange looks that weren't professional, and
Maybe you've got another note that you can write for us to read when we get our gods home about it?
I don't know if it is that, I only know what I think, my opinion.
Well, perhaps you can
Yeah.
put that little opinion on a note and we can have a little think about it.
Roll a persuasion, Grongout. You can have it with
No, not-
advantage, because you can have it
Wait,
with
do you?
advantage with because Tyr's sort of pressing as well.
21.
21.
Oh, thank you for the advantage.
The advantage was actually the natural one, but
Oh yeah. Well. bleh.
no, I guess it is. No, you are right. It might be pertinent. I want you to know that this is just what I saw. It doesn't mean anything. There's no causation. There's nothing that means, that there is anything going on. She is a holy woman, and I think that she has been very kind to members of your group.
This guy's gonna end up dead when we come back, isn't he? We're gonna go on this quest, and we'll knock on the door, and he'll be dead, and Roshana will be stood there like, "So you
What
found my
else?
secret?"
So he brings over the servant, the sort of spindly servant, writes another note and hands it to you, Beaky, because you're closest.
Just for quickness' sake, because it's 10 now.
Mm-hmm.
Can we say we accept the thing and get to the outside and find out what those notes say? Because I cannot wait a week for that.
No, I will say that you'll finish the conversation.
Yes.
You'll kind of wrap it up, have some more strange, weird.
Hello there, sires and ladies.
I'm definitely glad that I didn't flirt with this guy, because in my head it would be like this nimnuts guy there in the hive mind of this guy.
You go back to the King and Cass, because I would assume you'd probably sort of rented a week or another day at least. And the next time we play, we'll pick up with those notes and you leaving the city.